Failure is a lot kind of like success. And while most of the time when we learn at school, we see it as a kind of a linear process. The more effort you put in, the higher the outcome. So it's a more straight line, up or down, what the slope is. It's not a linear process. Actually, most probably nothing in life is quite a linear process unless you manipulate the focus of the graph quite a bit. Nothing in life is quite linear process like this straight line. And success and failure especially not. Because what usually happens is the opposite, what we call inverse logarithmic or the parallel, however, depends what you put on the graph, the diagram. It's something like you go really, 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 really low for a really, really long time. And then you go up, hopefully. Or even that, they're not. Who knows? But it's not a linear process, and that means that the more effort you put in doesn't mean you get more output. Sometimes the more effort you put in, it's just the same output. Sometimes there's less output. Sometimes you're lucky at the beginning and just lucky beginner shot, and then you're unlucky for quite a long time, and so on. So, like invention stories, like somebody found insight about something and it worked the first time, and then it took like forever to just find out why was it working the first time, like forever. Some people were actually joking that Bill Gates, the Windows 95, it wasn't meant to be in 1995. It was the 95th repetition of the operating system. There's some probably some truth to it, but who knows? So it's not a linear paradigm, so to speak. It's not a linear equation. But that also means you shouldn't view it as such. It just doesn't mean you will each day will be much better. Sometimes the day will be much worse. Sometimes the feedback will be so horrible you will think that you were worse off before you started. And sometimes you will see, why did this happen? Is this a miracle? Is this a fairy tale? Whatever. So don't beat yourself too much about it. Try to analyze what's happening and try to figure out what you can control and what you can't, because that will be most valuable when things for the later days, when things are harder, when competition, when something changes, because you will see the insight how you can manipulate that and when to. Regarding the competition, sometimes you will see that when something will change, you have to change also before the competition changes, before the competition even perhaps enters the market with real aspects of the offer. You will see that as soon as you see the competition, you should already change, because you should not let them breathe, and you should not let them even take a part of the market or something. But you need to know that beforehand. So success is not linear. And that also means you should not beat yourself if you fail all of a sudden, and you fail often. Perhaps it's an unpredictable circumstances. Perhaps it's a golden nugget of knowledge that you need to have, but it's just in disguise of failure. Or perhaps all the aspects, all the other repetitions were bad. So, meaning sometimes life will be worse. That's just the way things are. You should not beat yourself too much with it. You should not suffer more in your mind than you in reality. You should just do the work and do repetitions and do something else. Like if you're writing, as I don't know, it happened to me. I was writing a blog and I wrote 20 items, 20 articles, 20 blog posts. And things were going not great, but fine, a couple of subscribers every post. And then all of a sudden, I was experimenting with something that I would write parts of the blog posts or some blog posts via artificial intelligence. And then the subscriber count just plummeted. Nothing happened. And then I started writing again with my own words, and nothing happened. And then I started combining, nothing happened. And then I started writing really, really hard, better, longer, shorter, with more pictures, with less pictures. I tried everything, nothing worked. And I just gave up. But I gave up because I wasn't feeling very, satisfied with the action. But I knew what had changed. Actually, I finally figured out at the end before I gave up. The system that provided me the subscribers, the suggestion system changed. And that's why I didn't get the subscribers. It was just some stupid circumstances that I couldn't control. Was I feeling bad? Of course I feel bad. I failed at something, but I was also feeling happy that I knew what the reason was. Because I knew that I later wrote better articles and tried to promote it the same way I did before, and they were getting the same results. I knew that something on the platform changed. And that's an important lesson because I know now or then that I wasn't the one who was responsible. It was kind of liberating. And at the same time, it was devastating because I knew that my success was kind of dependent on something else, on some other platform, on some other people and technology that wasn't within my control. And that was miserable, actually, because hopefully I found out this sooner than later. Because if I were making a living out of it, I would probably be pretty miserable if I found out one night that my income stream was gone because of some tweak that the platform did. So not a linear slope, and it just means it never is. It usually is something big scale, as these curves, and it also means that it's really, really slow at the start, then it's really fast, and then it slows down back. So it's kind of an S-curve usually. And an S-curve also means that you're going to feel miserable, you're going to be happy, and then you're going to feel miserable again. Because you're going to have a two plateau, the big plateau and later the achievement plateau. Will that help? Probably not, but you should be at least 5% feeling better if you knew that that's going to come. And you should take the time to prepare, to try to spread, so to speak, to other options before you reach that plateau. That's it for me. Just remember, not everything is straightforward. It's all over the place. And it should be, because life is that way.